Hey, what's up guys? It's your Keto Chef Rob. I'm really glad you found this video because this tri-tip turned out amazing. Like, very good. Like it should, because it's sitting in a sous vide bath for 48 hours. That's a long time. Now, I'm doing a 3-day fast, so I'm starting this sous vide bath now, and by the time this tri-tip is done, I'll be done with my fast and I'll be able to break it with this really fatty, delicious meat. I'm also gonna sprinkle in some cabbage in there too, because cabbage is a good prebiotic and it's gonna help get that gut bacteria back to normal. Let me show you how to make a 48-hour sous vide tri-tip. Let's do this. Try to find a really good grade tri-tip. This one's not trimmed, meaning it's got all the fat. And in this case, it's got a little skin on there too. Also, the fat's kind of discolored, so I'm just gonna use my knife and I'm just gonna cut away any discoloration. Pretty much, I'm cutting away like the top layer of all the fat. And that's just so I can get down to like a really good looking, clean, unexposed fat layer. I'm gonna make sure that I leave a ton of fat on it though. You'll notice the fat's just on one side, and that's gonna actually give us a nice little side to sear on later on when we take this out of its sous vide bath. So I'm using Chiles. I'm actually using a ton of Chiles here. And now don't worry, like because of all the fat, it's gonna make it so it's really diluted down. And actually this came out, it really wasn't spicy at all, but you had a nice chili flavor to it. I'm also adding an absurd amount of garlic because of all the fat and how long we're cooking it. In order for us to detect the flavor, we're gonna have to put a ton in there. And it's honestly not gonna be overwhelming, I promise you. Also, on that same note, we're gonna add a ton of salt to this. And that salt's actually gonna help it cook better too. Make sure you get all the sides covered with salt. And at this point, you can also add some pepper too, but because I'm adding these chilies, I'm not gonna add any pepper. Now it's time to set up the sous vide. And a sous vide just circulates water and keeps it at a very consistent and constant temperature. And you'll see I'm using a Ziploc bag and I'm keeping just a corner open. And what that's gonna do is when I submerge this underwater, it's gonna push all of the air out. All the air out through that little hole. And then just before that little hole goes underwater, I'm gonna cinch it closed. And that makes this kind of like a makeshift vacuum bag. Now, there's still a little bit of air in there, so it floats. So I'm just gonna use a plate to weigh it down. Set it for 140 degrees Fahrenheit, 48 hours. And I'm gonna wrap it up in a blanket and put a little top on it so that it doesn't lose its water, and so my sous vide doesn't have to work so hard, because a blanket is gonna keep all the heat in. Okay, it's been 3 days since I ate. This is looking really freaking good. We're gonna get a pan going, super hot. Remember, this is already cooked, so you just wanna sear it. And while that heats up, I got a little red cabbage salad here. Just red cabbage, salt, pepper, olive oil, and some apple cider vinegar. And that's gonna be my side dish. Now this thing coming out of the bag, it never looks good. Nothing looks good coming out of a sous vide bag. So we just gotta give it a quick little sear. And it's optional here, but you can sear just the fat side. I'm gonna give all the sides a sear. And remember, super hot pan, 15, 30 seconds, that's all you need. The texture was so good. You could turn up the heat a little bit and get like a pulled pork texture, but you know what? This turned out amazing. I really hope you try this because, oh my God, this was a good recipe. Totally worth the wait. I don't know if it was just because I didn't eat for 3 days, but oh my God, this was amazing. I could have ate the whole thing right there, but I limited myself to 2 slices. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I got a ton of keto recipes coming out. Peace.